Hi, it's James here from the Sprinkle Donut Forge in Moscow, Texas, and I've been working on the prosthetic hand, mechanical grabbing device rather. And if you watch my last video, you see me forging out all these pieces and putting holes in them. Well, I mocked them up with a little nuts and bolts to see how they would feel, and it's extremely heavy. That will not do. So I've been looking around my illustrious scrap heap, and I found a roll of hard steel brake line. This whole roll probably doesn't weigh as much as this pile of steel, and keeping the weight to a minimum, I think, is one of the essential elements of this project. So I've cut some pieces of this tubing off to the appropriate length, and I have a brake line bender locked in my vise, and I was able to bend them on the round at 45 degree and about a 30 degree, and that's super light. I'm going to try to leave this portion round because I've got the idea to put some sort of gripping material on there. It would be not so bad to slide a rubberized material onto this round, and once I get the angle I want, I'll flatten a portion and drill the two holes in it so I can maybe get what I was after in the beginning. Also, having 3 on top and 1 on bottom, that's a little bit sketchy because you have to share with the middle bar, the one that holds everything together. If you have something in the middle, well, this naturally is in the middle, and it's going to cause you some trouble. And if you pull from one side or the other, it's not going to work smoothly. And also the small links that I made, you see them here, and I punched the holes through them. Those by themselves are very heavy. So I've taken a piece of the line and flattened it out. It's very slender, and it's also a great deal smoother. So I'm going to remake those little pieces out of this. So I'm going to pause and get you set up to where you can see some of the bending going on, and we'll go from there. See you in a minute. Get it on the 0 mark. Up just a little bit. Try to keep that oriented straight. Follow down to 45 degrees. Now that worked pretty nicely. Compare it to the other. Wow, that's close enough. All right. One more to do here. That stuff just doesn't move as easy as you think it does. If you've ever worked with automotive brake line, it's pretty mean stuff to work with. Anyway, now we got some fingers. Okay, I'll get on with drilling these holes. See you in a minute. Alright, well, I've made a lot of extra lengths, and I'm going to drill these out before I cut them off. And it's good rigid stuff and nice and thin, but keeping in mind that you can't have a digit moving on center because this is the center fulcrum of everything. I went ahead and decided to balance it out and put 4 fingers on top and a thumb on the bottom, but the thumb can't be on one side or the other, so the thumb has to be 2 pieces working as one, with enough gap to be able to clear this center line. So in essence, I got 6 fingers here, and I went ahead and made 14 links. If I don't need any, well, there's no big waste. So you see I've offset this to one side a little bit longer than our link pieces, that way it has room to fold. So 3 of them will have to be offset to the left, 3 of them will have to be offset to the right, and vertically as the finger works. So I'm going to do a little bit of that and let you see. There's no need to heat this stuff up to do this. So we're starting with the finger pointing at me, the shaft pointing to my right. So I'm going to do 3 of them that way and 3 the opposite direction. I've made a little mark on each one where I'm going to flatten it to. Right. One more in that fashion. Wouldn't be a forging channel if there wasn't some hammering going on. The hammer fixes a lot of things. Anyway, I'm going to give you kind of a close view. You notice I didn't pinch it in as a hard edge there. I let it kind of flare out. That way it's less apt to bend. And this stuff really, brake line is very rigid. There's even such an animal as stainless steel brake line, which that would probably need to be heated. I am not sure. I am not the foremost authority on working with stainless steel, but it would be better for this, I think, because of the anti-corrosion capabilities that it has. So I'm going to do these other ones. I'm turning them opposite. Make sure that it's opposite. Yes, it's opposite. The offset needs to go to one side or the other. So, alright, let's not get mixed up here. dokey. Make sure that I got everything like I want it. Got 3 offset to the left. Got 3 offset to the right. That's great. This one looks like it's a little lumpy in the middle. I can tweak it all once it gets where I want it. So I'll take a pause and I'll see you in a minute. Now before trying to drill a hole in anything, first you have to mark the area, of course. And your drill bit's not going to want to stay centered without something to orient it. So I'm going to use a center punch to create a little divot in the center of each one of these dots. The same as I did with the little link pieces. I don't know if you can see the divots. And when you punch the divot, if the mark is off center, try to center it by eye or measure before you punch the divot, because that's where your hole is going to be centered. So let's go ahead and center punch these. Not quite where I want it. There. Trains coming by. Yeah, I could spit a watermelon seed from here to the rail track. See you in a minute. Alright, here we are at the press, and I'm not going to wear any gloves. I've set the drill press vise to where it will back up the piece nicely and the bit can pass through. This can be very, very dangerous, so always keep your weather eye open for problems. So here's the diameter of fastener that I'm going to be using. I've set up a 9/64 bit, and if the tolerance is too tight and it won't move freely, well then I'm going to move up one size. We have 5/32. So let's get her started. And we'll do a test in one of the flat pieces. Whatever you do, don't let go. Alright, let's see how nicely it passes through the hole. It's a good tolerance as long as all the holes are nice and on center. So we're going to drill these. burrs down to a minimum. Beware. You really can't see very well from there, so let me give you a different angle. Never mind my junkie shop. This is where I live. It's good enough for me. That did all right as far as the burring on the back. I'm going to just run that lightly over the little belt grinder, and I'll let you see me drill out one of these, and no point in you watching me drill the whole thing. I want to jump up on you. Go a little easier and it does a little better. I'm not having too much fun. I want to drill another one. Alright, we'll get back to this project here in a sec. I'm going to drill all these holes and we'll go over to the belt grinder. See you in a minute. Alright, let's clean it up a little bit. I need to kind of bullnose these out. nice and rounded and deburred. I'm going to do that to all of these, and we'll cut off the little links and do it to them. See you in a minute. Alright, we're going to cut these off. Try to get your cut centered between them holes. Gonna be warm. Alright, you see what I'm doing? I'm gonna cut all these off, and we're gonna round the ends on them, and I'll get back with you in a minute. Alright, what I've done here is I've cut all these pieces off, and I've securely tightened them with a bolt. So I'm going to go back to the drill press, and that hole's pretty good, but I'm just going to lock this in the drill press vise and go ahead and clean that hole up where everything will work real smoothly. Then I'm going to lock another bolt into it and keep them booked while I grind the profiles. I think that'll save a lot of time and give us a little bit better quality of finished piece. So back to the press. We'll see you in a minute. Alright, they've been booked together. Those holes are pretty much perfect. Now I got to round this out. It will get hot, so I'm going to go easy at it. It's already warming up. As you can see that I'm grinding it together. I'm going to have to let it cool several times. So I will get that done and get back with you for a little mock assembly. We'll see what we got. See you in a minute. Alright, I've kind of mocked this thing up with some nuts and bolts and the little pieces that we made. And I put a little piece of copper wire on it so I can try to actuate it. And that's kind of uncomfortable in the palm right now. This is just an idea. It moves really easily. Is that not creepy a little bit? I'm actually kind of pleased with how this is turning out. There's a bottle of water. Okay. Let me get my finger in here and see if I can pick up this bottle of water. No problem. One finger. See, you just need some grips to where I can hold it. I don't know what a bottle of water weighs, but water is a fairly heavy substance. Picks it up, and that's just with a finger. The cable should make it have a lot more leverage, so it shouldn't be that hard to push down with the arm to get this to work. I'm going to put bushings between all this. I'm going to extract one entire bolt at a time with it locked in position and clear them out with a drill bit, and as I install the new bolt I'm going to slip little bushings in between just to make it a little smoother and reduce wear. Anyway, that's interesting. Let's see how this is working. I'm going to turn the whole mechanism around. You can kind of get the concept I got going on here. Of course, it will need a spring to return this. The cable can pull it, no problem, but it needs to open back by itself. Gravity ain't going to do that for you. You need a little spring action. And of course, I'm going to put some fingertips on here. I'm still debating whether or not to put a big mono tip across these four, and this thumb area put like a mono tip across there. I think it might be better to do that, and I'm going to do a little evening up. But anyway, we're making progress. As far as I've got to something that grabs anything so far, I actually managed to lift the bottle of water. It wasn't that great for my finger, but it did pick it up, no problem. Hopefully we can make this into something that'll be just right. That's all I got for today. I'm going to do a little more work to this. I may record another video, but I'll wait till this one posts to put it up there. And in the meantime, get inspired. Get out to your little work areas and do something. You might come up with something cool. Till next time, bye.